The Galactic Coalition's war room was silent. High Admiral Threx stood frozen, his eyes fixed on the scan results floating in front of him. Around him, the other alien commanders whispered nervously in their own languages. Seconds ago, they had authorized a second, deeper scan of the human warship, now hovering on the edge of Sector 9. Neutral space no longer neutral. The first scan was strange enough. The ship seemed too simple, too clean. No visible weapons, no heat signatures, no energy spikes. It was almost like a ghost ship. But that couldn't be. Humans were known for being loud, aggressive, and unpredictable. Their ships were always clunky, overpowered machines full of visible firepower. But this one, it just floated there, silent and still. That was why they scanned it again. And what they found this time was worse. Impossible, Threx muttered. This can't be right. The deeper scan pierced through the outer hull. What it found was not a lack of weapons, but layers of stealth shielding, hidden compartments, and energy signatures that bent physics itself. The ship wasn't unarmed, it was hiding. And not just hiding, it was watching. "It's listening to our scans," said Commander Ivel, her scales turning pale. "It's adapting." Threx nodded slowly. "It let us scan it the first time. Now it's showing us just enough. As a warning." Suddenly, the warship shifted. No weapons were fired. No message was sent. But on every coalition screen, a single symbol appeared, burned into the scan feeds, burned into the security systems, burned into the fleet's mainframes. A human skull. Metallic. Cold. Surrounded by what looked like wings of fire. "What is that?" whispered one of the junior officers. Ivel's voice cracked. "That's not a warship. That's a hunter. An eye-guided human Black Ops vessel. They called them Shades in the Terran Wars. But those were myths. Ghost ships. Stories," Threx said, though doubt had already crept into his voice. "No," Ivel whispered. "They're real. And we just poked one." Suddenly, alarms screamed. Multiple coalition ships near the human vessel began to power down. Systems offline. Lights out. Crews trapped inside with no oxygen. No escape. No fight. The human ship never moved. Never fired. It simply hovered. And everything around it died silently. A message appeared. "Scan again, if you dare." Threx backed away from the screen. For the first time in his military career, the High Admiral of the Galactic Coalition felt fear crawl down his spine. This is only the beginning. The Galactic Coalition's war room was tense. Bright lights from the screens flickered across the faces of alien commanders. They stood around the central table, all staring at the scan results. The human warship had not moved an inch. It still floated in space, silent and dark, near the edge of Sector 9. But now, something felt different. High Admiral Threx narrowed his eyes. He was a tall, sharp-looking Zarnak warrior with dark green skin and 2 long horns. "Scan it again," he ordered. "Deeper this time. I want to know what they're hiding." The first scan had confused them. The human ship looked too plain. No weapons, no shields, no energy spikes. It was just there, calm, quiet, empty. It didn't make sense. Humans were not known for quiet. Their warships were loud, messy, and dangerous. Yet this ship, this silent shadow in space, made no sound, no move. That made it even more dangerous. "Yes, sir," said Commander Ivel, tapping quickly on the controls. Her fingers shook. She was from the Krell species, known for their strong minds, but even she looked nervous now. The second scan started. Blue lights blinked on the screen. A wave of energy swept toward the human ship. It hit the outer hull, and then passed through. For a moment, there was nothing. Then data began to appear, but this time, what they saw made their blood run cold. "No," Ivel whispered. "This is bad. Really bad." "What do you see?" Threx asked. "It's not empty," she said. "It's hidden." The outer layer of the ship was a decoy, made to look simple and harmless. But under that, there were multiple layers of armor, hidden energy fields, and strange heat signatures. The ship had weapons, but not normal ones. It had weapons that didn't belong to any known category. Some looked like they could break planets. Others had no power source at all, like they pulled energy from space itself. "This isn't a warship," said Ivel slowly. "It's a trap." Threx's eyes widened. "A trap for who?" "Us," she said. "For anyone who gets close." Suddenly, a new alert flashed on the screen. Incoming signal from the human vessel. No sound, no message, just a symbol. It appeared in the center of the screen. A silver skull with fire wings behind it. The symbol burned itself into every scan terminal. No matter how hard they tried, they couldn't remove it. "What is that?" Threx asked. Commander Ivel stepped back. Her voice was low. "It's a Shade." "A what?" "A Shade-class stealth destroyer. Human-made. Rare. Silent. Deadly. They don't use radio. They don't send warnings. They just appear and erase everything." "But Shades are myths," said Threx. "Ghost ships, stories made to scare junior officers." Ivel looked at him with fear in her eyes. "They're real. My father saw one during the Earth-Sothan War. His ship was the only one that made it back. He said it came from nowhere. No light, no noise, just darkness. And then everything stopped working." Another alert rang. Several coalition ships near the human vessel went offline. Not destroyed, not attacked, just gone dark. Life support failed. Lights out, engines silent, crews trapped inside, unable to move. "No shots fired," said a technician. "No weapons detected." Threx clenched his fists. What kind of technology is this? The room went silent again. Then a final message appeared on every screen in bold red letters. "CCN again, if you dare." The text blinked slowly, and then disappeared. Everyone stood still. No one dared speak. Ivel broke the silence. "It knows we scanned it, and it warned us. This was not a mistake." Threx turned toward the large viewing screen. The human ship still floated there, still unmoving, but now it looked like a predator waiting for its prey. He stepped back from the table. For the first time in his long career, High Admiral Threx felt something he hadn't felt in decades. Fear. "This is only the beginning," he said. Outside, the stars continued to shine. But near Sector 9, darkness had arrived, and it wore a human face. The Galactic Coalition war room was filled with silence. High Admiral Threx stood in the center, his eyes fixed on the giant screen. Around him, alien officers from many species waited for answers. Their eyes showed fear and confusion. They had scanned the human warship once already. It was strange, too quiet, too simple. The scan showed no heavy weapons, no energy shields, no heat signals. It was like scanning a rock in space, but they knew it wasn't just a rock. This was a human ship, and humans were never that quiet. "Run the second scan," Threx said in a calm voice, though his heart was pounding. Commander Ivel pressed a few buttons on the console. She was from the Krell species, thin, with glowing blue eyes and quick hands. But today, her hands shook. "Yes, Admiral. Beginning deep scan now," she said. A wave of scanning energy was sent toward the human ship. Everyone watched the screen as new data slowly began to appear. At first, it showed nothing new. But then, the scan broke through something. A hidden layer. And what it found made the room go cold. "What is this?" Ivel whispered. Threx stepped forward. "Show me." The screen changed. Beneath the smooth, harmless surface of the human ship was something else. There were heavy armor plates hidden inside. Layers of strange tech, power signatures that bent in weird directions. Some of the readings didn't even make sense to Coalition computers. And then they saw the weapons. But these weren't normal weapons. They weren't plasma cannons or missile launchers. They were unknown. Some looked like they pulled energy from black holes. Others had no fuel source at all. "This is not a normal ship," Ivel said. "It's built to hide, to listen, and to strike without warning." Admiral Threx stared at the screen. "It tricked us. The first scan showed us what it wanted us to see. This scan, it let us see more." Another officer, a young Jarnax lieutenant, pointed to a new alert. "Admiral, the human ship is reacting." "What do you mean?" "No weapons, no movement, but it's watching us. It knows we scanned it again." Suddenly, all the screens in the war room changed. A single image appeared. A silver human skull with fire-shaped wings behind it. Cold, silent, powerful. The image was burned into every console. No one could remove it. "What is that?" Threx asked, though he had a feeling he already knew. Commander Ivel spoke, her voice shaking. "That is the mark of a Shade-class warship, a human stealth destroyer." "But the Shades are myths," another officer said. "Stories told to scare new recruits." "They're real," Ivel replied. "My brother fought during the Earth-Krogan conflict. His ship was the only one that came back. He said a Shade attacked their fleet. No sound, no light, just darkness. One by one, the ships went silent." Threx clenched his jaw. "We should not have scanned it again." Then the alarms started. Several Coalition ships near the human vessel went offline, just like that. Not destroyed, not attacked, just gone dark. Systems failed. Lights went out. Crews were trapped inside with no power, no air, no help. "What's happening?" shouted an officer. "There was no attack," the tech officer said. "No weapons fired. It just shut them down." On the screen, the human warship didn't move. It stayed in the same place. No lights, no sound. But it was alive and watching. A message appeared in red letters. "CCN again, if you dare." No one spoke. No one moved. The message blinked 3 times, then vanished. Ivel looked at Threx. "This ship isn't here by mistake. It came to be seen. It wanted us to look. And now, it's warning us." Threx slowly stepped back from the table. He was one of the most experienced commanders in the galaxy. He had seen many wars. But this felt different. "This is not a warship," he said. "It's a hunter." Outside, the human ship floated silently in the dark. No weapons showed. No lights blinked. But nearby ships were dead, and fear had taken hold of every commander in the room. Threx turned to his team. "Tell the fleet, no more scans, and keep our ships back, far back." Commander Ivel nodded slowly. "Yes, Admiral." But deep down, they all knew. It was already too late. The human warship hadn't moved in hours. It still floated in space near the edge of Sector 9, quiet and still like a ghost ship. But the fear it caused was growing fast across the entire galactic coalition. Admiral Threx stood on the bridge of the coalition flagship, staring at the enemy ship on the main screen. He had tried to warn High Command. He told them what happened after the second scan, how several ships near the human vessel went dark without a single shot fired. But they didn't listen. Instead, they sent more ships. Now, 25 warships from different coalition species had gathered around the human vessel. They formed a circle, ready to attack. From the outside, it looked like a powerful force. But to Threx, it looked like a trap. "I don't trust this," he said quietly. Commander Ivel, standing beside him, nodded. "Neither do I. The ship still shows no weapons on scans. But after what happened to the First Fleet, I think it's just waiting." Suddenly, A voice came through the fleet-wide channel. It was Admiral Jukar of the Bryn Empire, loud, proud, and overconfident. All ships, this is Jukar. Prepare to fire. We've given the humans a chance. No response. No surrender. Now we show them the strength of the galaxy. No. Threx shouted into the comms. Stand down. You don't understand. But Jukar had already given the command. All 25 ships charged their weapons at once. The space around the human vessel lit up with glowing plasma, rockets, and ion beams. The sky shimmered with deadly energy. And still, the human warship did nothing. The countdown began. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All weapons fired. A storm of destruction raced toward the silent human ship. Everyone on Threx's bridge held their breath. Then it happened. The human ship vanished. Not exploded. Not hit. Vanished. The weapons hit only empty space. All 25 coalition ships scanned again and again. Nothing. The human vessel was simply gone. What just happened? Ivel gasped. Threx stared in disbelief. It jumped. Without any engine flare. No energy surge. That's impossible. Before they could react, alarms exploded across every coalition ship. Warning. Inni Sion Teiki. Behind US. The human warship had reappeared, right behind the entire fleet. No sound, no warning, no signal, just death. Within seconds, half the coalition fleet lost power. Their lights blinked out. Their engines failed. Shields dropped. But again, no weapons were fired. The human ship didn't need to shoot. It was using something else. Something that shut down ships like blowing out candles. Admiral Jukar's ship tried to escape, but it was too late. His screen turned black. Then, the coalition heard his final words. They're inside. The signal cut. Silence. Then, the human ship sent a message across all frequencies. Just one line. You brought war to our doorstep. Now we walk through yours. Every ship, every outpost, every planet in the coalition received it. Panic spread like wildfire. Admiral Threx felt cold sweat on his skin. They let us come close. Let us attack, just to show us how helpless we are. Commander Ivel whispered, that ship, it's not just powerful, it's a message. Threx nodded. The humans aren't showing off. They're warning us. And we didn't listen. The human ship didn't stay. After showing its power, it vanished again, into the darkness of space. No trace, no energy trail, nothing. The coalition had never seen anything like it, and for the first time in 100 years, the most powerful fleet in the galaxy had been defeated, without a single shot hitting the enemy. The Galactic Coalition was in shock. 25 warships had surrounded one human vessel. All of them had fired, but not one blast had touched the target. The human warship had vanished, reappeared behind them, and silently shut half the fleet down. Admiral Threx had warned them, but now no one could deny it. Humanity was not weak. They were not slow. They were not afraid. They were something else. And yet, High Command still refused to believe the truth. They used tricks, said Counselor Breck, the head of the Coalition's War Council. Cloaking tech, jamming signals. That's all. We will crush them with real force. A new fleet was formed. This time, 100 ships from across the galaxy, the largest attack group in Coalition history. Their goal, Earth. Admiral Threx was ordered to stay out of it. His warnings were ignored, but he watched from his station near Jupiter, quiet, angry, and afraid. He knew Earth wouldn't be caught off guard. The fleet moved fast, warping into the Sol system in tight formation. Fighters, carriers, destroyers, even orbital bombers. They had come for war. And what they saw stopped them cold. Because Earth was not unprotected. It was waiting. At first, Coalition sensors picked up nothing. No ships, no satellites, just the blue and green planet spinning peacefully. Then, they came out of the shadows. One by one, massive black ships uncloaked. Dozens of them, then hundreds. No lights, no radio signals, no engine noise. Each one looked like a mountain floating in space, sharp, silent, deadly. The Coalition fleet had walked into a trap. "This can't be real," whispered Captain Reln aboard the command cruiser Valor's Edge. "There are more than 300 of them." "No," corrected his science officer. "Closer to 500. And they're surrounding us." A moment later, all Coalition ships lost long-range communication. Then, internal systems began to glitch. "Shields are weakening," someone shouted. "Weapons offline. Backup controls not responding." On Admiral Threx's private monitor, warning signals flashed. His station was picking up jamming fields coming from Earth's side. "These aren't just ships," he whispered. "They're part of a network, a defense web." Commander Ivel, watching with him, looked pale. "They built it in silence, over decades, while we thought they were primitive." Now, in orbit above Earth, the real human fleet had arrived. Each ship had no visible weapons, but that meant nothing now. The earlier Shade-class warship had taught them all a lesson. One of the human ships opened a channel. A clear voice echoed through every remaining Coalition vessel. "This is Commander Elias Forn of the United Terran Defense Force. You brought your war to our home. Now you will understand what true defense means." Before the Coalition could respond, the Terran ships moved. Not with missiles, not with lasers. They used gravity. Each human vessel unleashed a field that twisted space itself. The Coalition ships were pulled and pushed without warning. Some collided, others lost power. One massive battleship simply folded in on itself, crushed by forces it couldn't understand. "Retreat," someone yelled, but it was too late. Terran ships created a gravity lock around the fleet. No warping out, no escape. And then, they stopped. The attack ended. Coalition ships drifted, broken and powerless. But the human fleet didn't finish them off. Instead, Commander Elias spoke again. "We could end you. Right here. Right now. But we won't. Because we are human. And we still hope you can learn. This is your one and only warning. Leave our system. Do not return." Then, with perfect silence and perfect coordination, the human ships vanished again. No engines, no trail. The Coalition fleet was allowed to limp away, shaken, humbled, and forever changed. Back on his station near Jupiter, Admiral Threx turned to Ivel. "They didn't fight to kill," he said. "They fought to show us something." "To show us what?" she asked. Threx stared out at Earth, glowing in the distance, "that no matter how far we've come, we were never ready for them." The Galactic Coalition was broken. After their massive fleet was stopped without a single shot fired, and after Earth's real power was shown with invisible forces and silent weapons, there was no more doubt. Humans were not just another race. They were a force to be feared. News of the failed invasion spread fast through the galaxy. Planets whispered in fear. Leaders who once mocked Earth now looked for peace. Admiral Threx sat alone in his quarters on the Coalition flagship. His hands trembled as he reread the latest message from Earth's Commander Elias Forn. "Leave our system. Do not return. This is your only warning." It wasn't just a message. It was a promise. In the Coalition Council, debates raged. Some wanted revenge. Others begged for peace. But no one could deny Earth's power. Then, the impossible happened. Earth opened communications. A single, calm voice filled the galaxy. "This is Commander Elias Forn, speaking for all humanity. We do not seek war. We only protect our home." But he continued, "If you refuse peace, if you bring war to our doorstep again, you will see what humanity truly is." The galaxy listened. Fear mixed with respect. In space stations, In starports, in distant worlds, beings whispered the same words. Humans are not weak. Humans are not simple. Humans are something else. Coalition leaders finally agreed to send envoys. Diplomats were chosen to visit Earth and talk peace. Admiral Threx was part of the team. He knew the truth now. Humans had waited quietly for centuries. They had hidden their true strength. They had mastered technology no one understood. They had weapons that could crush fleets without firing a single shot. And they had something no machine could copy: human will. When the envoys landed on Earth, they saw the truth. Not just powerful ships and weapons, but a people united, a people who never gave up, who faced death with courage, who fought not for conquest, but for survival. Admiral Threx bowed his head. He whispered to himself, "The galaxy laughed at humans for too long. Now it's time to listen." The humans had sent one final message before the talks began. "We are ready, but be warned. Earth does not forgive. Earth does not forget." The galaxy had changed forever. Because from that day on, every star system knew: never underestimate humanity. After Earth's warning echoed through the stars, the Galactic Coalition was forced to rethink everything. The proud fleets once ready to crush humanity now pulled back, their confidence shattered. But peace did not come easily. Behind closed doors, some coalition leaders whispered dark plans. They feared Earth's power, and some refused to accept it. Secret groups formed in the shadows. They called themselves the Void Hand, an alliance of rogue warlords, smugglers, and scientists banned from the coalition. The Void Hand saw Earth's rise as a threat and an opportunity. While diplomats talked peace, the Void Hand built secret weapons, silent ships, advanced technology stolen from defeated fleets, and terrifying new weapons designed to challenge even Earth. Meanwhile, on Earth, Commander Elias Vorn and his team worked to prepare for what might come next. "We gave them a warning," Elias said, looking at a star map filled with strange blips. "But some will never accept peace." His second-in-command, Lieutenant Mara, nodded. "The Void Hand grows stronger. Their spies are everywhere. They think they can hide in the darkness," Elias said. "But Earth has eyes everywhere too." The Terran Defense Force began new missions, finding and stopping Void Hand agents before they could strike. In the galaxy's deep reaches, a shadow moved faster than light. A new ship appeared, black as night, with weapons never seen before. The Void Hand's greatest weapon had arrived, and it was heading straight for Earth. Elias stared at the incoming threat. "This is only the beginning," he said, "and humanity will be ready." The Void Hand's dark ship grew closer every day. It was a weapon designed to destroy, with power no one had ever seen. Earth's leaders gathered in the command center beneath the surface, their faces grim but determined. Commander Elias Vorn stood before them. "We warned the galaxy," he said. "Now we must protect our home." The Terran Defense Force launched their fleet. This time, no one underestimated them. Black warships emerged from cloaking fields. Fighters zipped through space with deadly speed. Technology hummed with silent power. The Void Hand attacked with everything they had. Lasers, missiles, and strange new weapons filled the sky. But humans fought like never before. Their ships moved like shadows, avoiding attacks, striking where it hurt most. One by one, Void Hand vessels fell. In the chaos, Elias led a daring mission directly to the enemy's flagship. Inside the dark ship, alarms blared. Elias and his team fought past guards and strange machines. Finally, they reached the core, the heart of the Void Hand's weapon. With a final push, they destroyed it. The dark ship began to collapse. Outside, the remaining Void Hand forces fled. The galaxy watched in awe. Humanity had faced impossible odds, and won. Admiral Threx sent a message to Earth. "You fought not just for yourselves, but for all of us. The galaxy owes you respect." Commander Elias smiled. "We didn't fight for respect. We fought for survival." And from that day, Humanity stood tall among the stars, no longer the laughing stock of the galaxy, but a powerful force, ready for whatever came next.